friends, and welcome back to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, talking all things ageless, caregiving, bridging generational gaps, and entrepreneurship, and all that's life. An expression, have you ever heard this expression, unlearn? As in, you've learned something and you now have to unlearn it. Well, I heard that a couple of years ago from a friend of mine, and she mentioned as regards to songs and changes of things, she always said it's hard to unlearn, and it always stuck with me. And as time has gone on, I'm like, I've got to know the meaning of that, and it really is big research now. And it's turned things up on its head. Oh, AI has turned things up on its head. So, good morning, good evening, good night. Let us chat about some of these things. So, unlearning, what is it really? Well, it's just the opposite of learning. We learned the alphabet, we learned how to count, we take it for granted, many of us. But there are also things we integrate and we learn from what we learn from our parents, grandparents, those in our community. We learn at school, we learn around just in general, social events, social media, television, you name it, all the media that's been out there. And it does seep into your brain, especially if it resonates with you. So, what have you been learning? And what we learn, we practice. And what we practice often enough, it becomes a habit, which then becomes our personality. So, if there are things in life, in our lives, that we want to unlearn, maybe a habit is no longer serving us. Maybe we don't want to, we want to learn something new. How do we take out what's there? For example, how did those persons who were only accustomed to video cassettes, yes, I said video cassettes, CDs, DV players, how did that come about? Because someone was bold enough to say, you know what, let's unlearn something and learn something new. So you make space for what you would have known. Give it grace. We don't ever want to discount what we've learned. But as an older person, as a caregiver, as an entrepreneur, we got to keep learning. The rate of pace of life changes like that. So here are a few tips on unlearning. Well, it's how attached are you to what you know before? So that starts with the mindset. The mindset, I'm going to learn. I'm going to open my mind to learn something new. So that's one. Let's do it with joy. It's as if sometimes you feel, oh, I've got to bury and forget altogether what I learned because it was nonsense. No, it helped bring us to who we are today. So it can't be nonsense. Everything we've had has led us to this point. We just want to move forward. And as long as there's life, we're moving forward. So do it with grace. Have the mindset to learn. Have an open mind. It speaks to resilience. It speaks to bouncing back. It speaks to being able to bridge gaps because we can understand what each other is saying. It helps with caregiving because you're learning and unlearning what to do, what should happen, different personalities. You're meshing. You're learning of each other. You're learning about yourself. And you're learning more and more about what you really want to do. What's the third thing? Embracing unlearning as a vital tool for personal development, a fulfilling and enriching existence. Who can say no to that? So we want to remember learning is fantastic. And learning does take effort. But hey, what you learned, you may have learned by someone else's imparting to you. What you're unlearning is your choice. You're empowered to unlearn. So from my heart to yours, whether you're 60, 80, 90, 20, 30, now embarking on your career, mentoring, caregiving, maybe it's time to unlearn. Hey, we learn something new, we foster better relationships, we have more fulfilling lives. Can there be anything nicer than that? From my heart to yours, Dr. Lana. Signing out on this day 87, 86, 87. You guys know. You can correct me. It's just been a wonderful journey. Unlearn what you've learned. You will survive it. Trust me. We're more resilient than we think. Mwah.